Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, a rally in technology and bank shares pushed the Aussie share market higher today. The S&P ASX 200 finished up 0.4% to 8,224 points. Bit of a holding pattern, really. Tech stocks doing well, miners doing poorly as iron ore prices fall, banks doing a bit of both. Gold miners, they keep sliding. West African Resources, Ramelius Resources, Northern Star, they're all down sharply. Goodman Group suffered a 34% first strike against its remuneration report. That's its 5th strike since 2016. In economic news today, the unemployment rate stayed at 4.1% last month after 15,900 new jobs were created. That's according to the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Story number 2, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese arrived in Lima, Peru today ahead of the APEC and G20 summits, saying as much as 75% of Australia's trade is with APEC countries. When asked about Donald Trump's policies, he said Australia will always support free and fair trade. 1 in 4 jobs are trade dependent, the Prime Minister said, and that's his focus. The talks will also include climate change and transitions to renewable energy. Just before we leave geopolitical matters, Australia has shifted its vote in the United Nations to recognise the permanent sovereignty of Palestinians over the occupied territories, potentially triggering a flashpoint with any Trump administration in the US. Australia has abstained on a vote on that issue ever since 2011. Overnight, we switched to a yes. Story number 3, chemical and explosives maker Orica has posted a jump in full-year profit, helped by higher demand for its digital products and its new blasting technology. The world's biggest manufacturer of commercial explosives, got a really interesting history, started 149 years ago by supplying explosives to the Victorian goldfields. It has continued, came out today, set a 77% jump in net profit, though its share price fell. The company's targeting a 50-50 split between its blasting business and non-blasting business, things like high-def cameras, radar scanners, laser trackers, to check how mines are going, that type of thing, and it seems to be on the way. Story number 4, accounting software group Xero has recorded a 76% jump in net profit for the half year to the end of September. Chief Executive Sukhinder Singh Cassidy called it a solid performance, including strong revenue growth. Its share price jumped 6%. Another to report today was GrainCorp. Its net profit for 12 months to the end of September was $62 million, down from $250 million a year earlier. It blamed the variability of Australian crops. It didn't give any earnings guidance, and its share price at one point yesterday was down about 4%. And farm chemical supplier New Farm booked a net loss of $6 million. Lower selling prices and profit margins in many parts of the business were to blame, but the result was better than expected, and its share price ended up 6%. And story number 5, Ray Hadley, the morning radio king of Sydney, has lost his first ratings period in 20 years. The 70-year-old last week said he'd step down from his show. It's from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. on 2GB in Sydney, in the top ranking for more than 160 surveys until today. Came in third behind WSFM and Smooth FM. In Melbourne, high-profile Sydney pair, Kyle Sandilands and Jackie O, fell 0.1% to a 5.1% market share. They had 13.1% of the Sydney breakfast audience, though. That's it for the afternoon report for Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Friday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.